bonus. What's behind the huge extra payday headed for thousands of auto workers' bank accounts? The XFL is back, but will Cleveland be in play to get a team in the rebooted Football League? A dog and his trusty companion, a tale that is sure to put a smile on your face. And what an Academy Award-winning actress was doing at a local high school today. Good evening, everyone, and here we go. The deportation is underway for a Northeast Ohio businessman as we speak. What is Dan Gilbert saying about that story that says he might be putting the Cavs up for sale and big bucks being put in the pockets of Ford workers? Chris Ty has all of that in tonight's 77 Seconds at 7.
The international back-and-forth case of Amir Othman of Youngstown is back on. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has decided not to grant his stay today. We're told his deportation to Jordan underway right now. The Jordan-born Othman, described as a pioneer in Youngstown, married his American wife in 1979. Now, ICE believes that marriage was fraudulent. More to come. If you know a UAW worker on a Ford plant in this country, including the big ones around here, they're about to get a nice bonus, far more than the averages we have been talking about. $7,500 a head, heading to the 54,000 workers in this country. Strong earnings, $7.6 billion by Ford last year, is the reason why. ESPN analyst Stephen A. Smith's comments yesterday that Cavs owner Dan Gilbert is looking to sell the team continues to cause ripples. What may be most of note, so far the billionaire Detroit native, who is often quick to swat back rumors on his active Twitter account, has not said anything supporting or refuting the report. Details of Cleveland's bid to land Amazon's second headquarters failed, but the city's still not releasing details of the bid. The state of Maryland, the city of Chicago have released details of what kind of tax perks and incentives they pitched, even detailing how much they paid marketing firms to help them. All right, Jimmy, you want to talk Dan Gilbert or you want to talk Amazon? Which one's your fancy?
Well, I'll tell you what, we talked Amazon. We had a panel on when we were eliminated that day, and the consensus was why the, shroud of secrecy around the Cleveland bid.
That is still the question. I mean, that panel was last Thursday. We're almost a week later. The city, the county, and Team Neo, which helped put this all together, still very airtight. I guess on one side you could make the case, in business, sometimes you need to make some backroom deals that you don't want to get out there because it'll ruffle some feathers. On the other hand, it's taxpayer dollars. Let us in. The deal is off.
All right, let's quickly go to Dan Gilbert, okay?
Yeah.
Big Detroit guy.
Right.
I mean, basically, he's revitalizing the city of Detroit, building by building, area by area, square by square in Detroit. So a lot of people draw towards that. But the other thing hanging out there is the LeBron James precarious contract situation at the end of this season.
And, I don't know if he's either learned his lesson from the letter, where he doesn't punch from the hip when he gets hit with something he's not expecting, or whether or not he's still the same guy and he's trying to play this cool. We'll probably see soon.
Absolutely. All right, we'll see you soon, too, coming up in 3 on 3. Now, a lot of heads are turning today as Vince McMahon, that's right, from WWE fame, he is rebooting the XFL Football League. Short on details, he says the league will launch in 2020. It will be safer than the NFL game, and it will focus on quality of character for the players. At one point, he even said infractions like a DUI means that player will not be allowed to play in the XFL. To begin, expect 8 teams to play a 10-week regular season that will start in the late winter, probably right after a Super Bowl. Teams will be owned by the league. That's important, not as separate franchises like the NFL or any other league, for that matter. McMahon says there will be no crossover with his wrestling company, and he does promise innovation.
We will present a shorter, faster-paced, family-friendly, and easier-to-understand game. Don't get me wrong, it's still football, but it's professional football reimagined.
McMahon stressed that his new venture will heavily weigh on what is football fans really want and what they want in the game right now, as no cities have yet been named yet for the return of the XFL. We reached out to various government groups and civic groups around our area. So far, we haven't heard a peep about bringing a team to our region. I would be surprised if they entered into any NFL territory. Now, a spoiler alert on this next story. If you have not seen this week's episode of This Is Us yet, Turn away for the next 30 seconds or so. The company that owns Crock-Pot came out this week reassuring customers that their product is safe. Now, this comes after Tuesday night's episode of This Is Us, where a secondhand slow cooker catches fire, spreading flames throughout the Pearsons family home. The Crock-Pot folks say they have never gotten a consumer complaint anything like the fictional situation on that show. Well, the flu is sweeping across the country right now. Chances are you know someone who caught it or you've had it yourself. And for all of the bad, it is big business, too. CNBC's Meg Terrell takes a look at who comes out on top in the flu business.
I wasn't able to walk or do nothing.
Flu is widespread in 49 states and Puerto Rico in a season that's shaping up to be more severe than usual. But while flu brings misery to those suffering from it, for some segments of the healthcare industry, flu season brings healthy returns. Hospitals and urgent care clinics see an uptick during severe flu seasons, while lab testing firms and makers of diagnostic tests also get a boost. The same goes for pharmacies as customers visit for medications, flu shots, and supplies. And finally, makers of flu vaccines are expected to see a boost as public health officials encourage everyone to get their flu shot.
Get vaccinated, and if you haven't been vaccinated yet, run and do it.
The recommendation to get a shot stands, even as the vaccine is thought to be less effective this year at protecting against the flu. But it's not all a boon to the healthcare industry. Health insurers often take a hit in more severe seasons as they pay for more care. And employers could also see a loss in productivity from sick days.
We're predicting about 11 million Americans will fall ill over the flu season, and that's going to cost employers over $9 billion.
Despite that cost, HR experts and public health officials say encouraging employees to stay home when sick is beneficial for both stopping the spread of flu and avoiding even more lost productivity. Experts recommend employers take a few steps to help reduce the spread and the potential cost of flu. For those in office settings, holding fewer in-person meetings. And of course, encouraging lots of hand washing and covering coughs and sneezes. Meg Terrell, CNBC Business News.
And when we come back on Donovan Live, the undesirable list Cleveland is landing on tonight, and a tale of a dog and his trusty stick that'll put a smile on your face. Right after our first time out.
Channel 3 News at 7. Donovan Live is made possible by the Calvetta Brothers Floor Show. It's time to fall in love again with your home.
Okay.
I'll get you one. Yep. Okay.
Sometimes you just need a story that will make you smile, and we're sure this one is going to deliver on that promise. A dog whose stick doubles as his shtick. Boyd Hoopert from our sister station in Minneapolis tells us this tale.
If only we knew what they're thinking. What object of affection beyond these four walls consumes their thoughts? Brace yourself, for in this rarest of cases,
where's your sticky?
We know.
There you go.
Because Cassie is part yellow lab, part branch manager.
From day one, she just picked up a stick and away we went.
Jerry and Mary Viersba have the photographic proof of their little puppy already stuck on a stick.
The dog with the stick. That's what we're known as, the keepers of the dog with the stick.
She's always got it, yes. Yes, she's quite the dog.
As Cassie grew,
every time,
her sticks did too. This one, 6 feet long, she carried 5 years.
I was in Herberger's one time and a lady across the jewelry counter was checking out and she's looking at me, she goes, "Oh my gosh, you're the lady with the dog with the stick." And I go, "Yeah."
Now 11 years old, Cassie is 6 months into a stick more age appropriate. She is, however, no less determined.
Would you be angry if I borrowed your stick for a second?
That's photographer Rob Collins trying to attach the tiniest of cameras to Cassie's stick. And Cassie having none of it.
He likes the stick.
But if Cassie has a nemesis,
might be a little bit tricky here.
It's that narrow bridge on the way to the park. She can be, after all, a wide load.
She just basically hit the bridge and kind of goes backward.
Like an old Three Stooges routine.
Worse, that gap in the bridge railing cost Cassie her last stick when it tumbled into the swift-moving spring current.
Oh, she was going in.
She wanted to find it, yeah. She was going in. We had to stop her.
Cassie ran instead into the woods, re-emerging moments later.
You got a new sticky?
She's got to pick it.
She has standards. Go on.
And as for that menacing bridge,
let's go.
No way she's dropping her friend again.
You can make it. Good pup.
That's a good girl.
I think she's a showboat, personally. I think she likes leading a parade, just likes showing off.
Dog or drum major?
She's strutting her stuff.
Either way, Cassie isn't about to give up her shtick.
Goofball.
Boyd Hoopert, KARE 11 News, Sartell.
And when we come back, what brought actress Jennifer Lawrence to Cleveland Heights High School today? And Matt is in for Betsy tonight. His forecast is coming up after our second time out.
Why? I thought this is second block. I thought we're third block. Oh, I'm here. No, we're not. Oh, I'm coming. Bye-bye. See? Always late. Coming up. Bye. See ya. Be back.
Sure.
Okay, thanks, Frank.
This again. Other side, Danielle. Well, then I got to move my mic. I cannot hear.
Sorry about the dog with the stick. Good.
Well, you know I always have issues.
Keeping therapists employed since 1993.
Before that, my dear.
In tonight's 3 on 3, a celebrity surprise in a local classroom, a tough new ranking for Cleveland, and the Field of Dreams was vandalized. Chris Ty is in as always. Danielle is back. She's been out with a hamstring pull.
Good to have her back. You feeling okay?
Yeah, are you ready to go?
And how are you going to tell people I got that hamstring pull?
His story, not mine.
Here we go. The imagination, I think. First up, Hollywood in the classroom today over at Cleveland Heights High School. Actress Jennifer Lawrence made a surprise visit there this morning, talking politics. She works with a nonpartisan group that works to fight government corruption, and she met with juniors and seniors for about 30 minutes in a lively discussion on fixing democracy.
That's very cool. And then she went to Town Hall, which, by the way, is over on West 25th Street.
Nice.
All the staff over there got some time with her. And, you know, that's a brand new school over there in Cleveland Heights, right there off of Cedar, and I guess that's Taylor.
I know exactly where you are.
And
That's pretty.
very robust, and good to see them being able to engage with somebody, a big name like that. That's very cool.
She's very outspoken when it comes to politics as a whole. I mean, she was the one who gave quite a tongue lashing to the clerk down in Kentucky who refused to marry the same-sex couple. So this is nothing new to her, but I think she's pretty funny.
Yeah. Now, I look at that and I say that's great that she was there.
Yeah.
But to me,
oh, how exciting for the kids.
She's coming up on a very big week. Silver Linings Playbook.
Oh, good movie.
Okay. But remember, the team portrayed in that, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Let me tell you, that was one of my favorite movies of all time.
It was. She was fantastic. That was a fantastic
I was wondering where you were going with it, but I forgot the De Niro character was a huge
Eagles fan. They all were Eagles fans.
Bradley Cooper.
Great.
Right. Yeah. Okay,
Sorry.
you're done? Some not so exciting news for Cleveland, named in a new study as one of the worst places to raise a family in Ohio. The bottom 3, all in Northeast Ohio, Warrensville Heights, Cleveland, and East Cleveland, and results are based on 21 different factors. The best spot, according to the study, Perrysburg, out by Toledo. Danielle, your reaction?
Well, crime was part of the factors that they looked at, which is probably why some of those cities didn't do so well. But Northeast Ohio as a whole did fairly well. We're like 23 or 24 in the whole country.
You know, there are so many stats and so many things you can try to parse up here.
There are too many lists.
There are too many. Yeah. Wow.
I think there's a show now called The List.
There is.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that there was a list saying that, you know, it's in Northeast Ohio, it's better to buy property than to rent. It's more cost effective around here than in most parts of the country. So, you know, we can carve this turkey a million different ways, but I've lived in the Heights and I live in Cleveland presently.
There you go.
I don't agree with him either, but I think the crime issue was what weighed it.
As they said in the movie, if you build it, they will come. But now tonight we say, if you build it, they will vandalize it. That's what happened at that baseball field made famous by the 1989 movie Field of Dreams. Someone drove a vehicle through the Iowa field. Look at the gashes out in the outfield. They damaged the sprinkler system. It will cost thousands to repair the vandalism. That was a phenomenal movie.
Well, I have good news that comes out of it. I was saying it was probably some drunken fool, but there's good news that came out of it. Somebody started a GoFundMe page, and they raised more than the money needed
that's great.
to fix it. And they have a person of interest, police.
You know, also one of the great lines in movie history. Am I in heaven? No, you're in Iowa.
The other thing, that scene at the end where he has the game of catch with as he realizes his dad, unbelievable. They had to pull me out of the theater the night I saw that. I was a week away from getting married.
Oh.
Yeah, and my dad had passed away, and he was a great baseball coach.
Yeah, he was a coach.
And I always played baseball. I mean, I always played catch with him.
Yeah.
I have to tell you,
it's a powerful movie.
I couldn't get out of my seat. I was just overwrought.
Did you cry?
Cry?
Yeah.
Cry me a river.
Wait, where's the line "You're killing me, Smalls" from? Is that from that movie? Anyone?
What's your Twitter account?
Sandbox. Okay, Sandbox.
Anyway,
okay,
right.
Sandbox.
Yeah.
Until next time, the balcony is closed here on
Yes,
Movie
it is.
Talk.
But now, guess what? Matt is in for Betsy. Matt, your turn.
I'm good, guys. I'm good. That was good, though. Sandbox, good movie. All right, no playing in the sandbox out there this evening. We've got temperatures near freezing still, but hey, all things considered where we've been, temps are on the upswing. Reason why, we've got a wind out of the south that will continue to usher in warmer air as we go into tomorrow. Again, if you're going to call off work, you want to start coughing early because tomorrow is the day to do it. I'm telling you, because we're going to tap into some of this warm air down to the south. Gone is the polar air, gone are the 30s. I think we get well into the 50s as we go into the day tomorrow. Tonight, temps stay steady. That's a sign that we're warming. You see, we stay right near freezing. Sky's going to start to clear out. So to greet you tomorrow morning on your way to work will be bright sunshine. It'll be just a glorious start to the day. So let's take you hour by hour. Tomorrow morning, temps near freezing. We do have clear skies, a couple clouds expected later in the day tomorrow. Our model keeping us in the 40s. A lot of models doing that. I think we'll be well into the 50s tomorrow afternoon with a nice south breeze, lots of sunshine. That continues if you have Friday night plans. We're looking great. Temps falling back into the 40s. Some clouds start to arrive Friday night, though. That's out ahead of our next weather system. As we go into the morning Saturday, we're dry, but midday through early afternoon, we bring a wave of rainfall in here. So Saturday looking pretty wet in the afternoon. That lasts through evening. Temperatures holding their own, though, in the 40s. And then beyond that, we bring back some cooler air as we go back into Monday. Universal Windows Direct 7-day forecast. We'll start with tomorrow. Lots of sunshine. I have us at 55 degrees. That rain develops on Saturday. If you have outdoor plans, Sunday is the day to do it over the weekend. Temps still in the 40s, but we bring another system coming in Monday and Tuesday. It brings in some more Arctic air, but it doesn't last long. We'll be back into the 40s after that. And speaking of being back, we'll be back right after this break.
Here's what's coming up tonight on NBC and Channel 3. Brought to you by Montrose. Everybody knows you've got a friend at Montrose.
Training for the Olympics, it's one of the hardest things an athlete has to do. Doing that training while a major hurricane is bearing down on your team, that doesn't make it any easier. So the women of USA Hockey spent their summer training in Tampa, Florida. Then came Hurricane Irma. Matt Renew shares the story of how a natural disaster didn't slow the team down. It actually helped their training.
Growing up in Denver and playing hockey at the Edge Ice Arena.
This brings back so many memories being here.
The closest thing to a natural disaster Nicole Hensley's ever faced.
They've never really had to deal with the natural disasters.
Has been a snowstorm or two.
Where people are, stocking up so they don't have to leave their house for a few days.
Until the goalie and her teammates with USA Hockey went to Florida for some pre-Olympic training this summer and ended up in a face-off with Hurricane Irma.
We've got water flying off the shelves, bread.
A hurricane that postponed their Olympic training so they could stock up on food and water.
You're going to the grocery store every day to try and scrounge water or snacks or going to the gas station. It was like 20 minutes. You're waiting in the line to get gas.
It's going to be a big-time rebuild.
Before being evacuated with hundreds of others to a shelter.
We spent about 24 hours in a little shelter area.
It's the kind of thing you might expect would ice their training.
It took an emotional toll on us trying to get everything together and figure out exactly what we needed to do.
But these Team USA athletes,
It's just kind of like another one of those things to check off the list. Okay, we've done this together, we've done that together.
say that the hurricane actually
We survived Hurricane Irma.
brought them together.
We made the best of an unfortunate situation and kind of treated it as a big team bonding experience.
All from a hurricane
Hurricanes are not something that I ever thought I'd be dealing with.
that Nicole says will make Team USA an unstoppable force of nature when they get to the Olympics.
We stick together through anything.
Road to South Korea is brought to you by Tri-C, where futures begin. Visit tri-c.edu.
That is just about going to do it for us, except we want to go back to our precious 3-on-3 moment. I think the movie that Danielle was referring to, she called it Sandbox, but I think she's referring to the movie Sandlot.
Sandbox was the children's version of that.
I was in Sandbox, so you're right. Yeah. Anyway, Sandlot, and we want to thank the thousands who have tweeted us since 3-on-3 to help us get it the right way. All right, that's why we love her. Okay?
It is.
Entertainment Tonight's coming up next. We'll see you back here at 11 o'clock. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching Channel 3 News. Be sure to check out the new and improved WKYC.com. No frills, just the facts in a fun and easy-to-use website.
Okay. Can you flip it around when you get a chance so I can see it too? Thank you.